Shalom to the elect, giving all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh Bashem Al Shai Bashem Kakodash. Giving double honors to the elder apostles, the elder bishops, great millstone who well. Peace and salutation to the elect, the first fruits, the choicest parts. And the Lord have mercy upon us, start with your Rashim or your heats. That's the prophets, 12,000 choice men of each of the 12 tribes of Israel. And you have a remnant, the 1/3, whom are not prophets but believers. And when the children of the Lord is going to have mercy upon as well. These are Israelites always. And of course, giving double honors to the elder apostles, the elder bishops, the great millstone who well. Shema Mappa from the great millstone. PLAINTABLES camp located here in the city of Philadelphia. Just coming with another little lesson that I was meditating on a bit and such from this lesson. So I did this lesson maybe a day or two ago about this Israelite here, this Jake, probably of a Latin tribe, Gino Hagen Cotter, who apparently they said he escaped the custody while outdoor on work assignment, but he was found dead in a warehouse in K&A, which is a very major area for drugs, big, large, open air drug market. And he went, as soon as he got out, pretty much, or escaped out, he went to do drugs. Now, my lesson here today is covering an article in which I found Philly jails are literally making people sick. Jails, obviously, where people are basically so-called accused or convicted people are confined, all right, to space. So it says Philly's jails are literally making people sick. The need for a closer look into the toxic conditions plaguing the city and regional jails. Okay, it says 17 years passed since Dwayne Sims, 51, was locked up in jail. Last year, he found himself up against in Philadelphia's detention center on State Road or locked up again, that is, for about 5 weeks. Of course, anyone would expect a bad experience, but not as bad as this one. And it is worse. And this article was published back in November 6th of 2019, so it's definitely worse now. It said it was worse than what I remember it to be. He told Echo Word some of the meals they had given a 320-pound was for a healthy 6-year-old. They would feed us at 8 o'clock, 12 o'clock, and 3 o'clock a slice of bologna and potatoes and high school back veggie. I'm not saying it's supposed to be a 5-star, but it wasn't good. But what stood out for Sims were the mice. These mice would come out at night whether you sleep or not. That's some bold mice right there. How do a mice get on the top bunk? Mice hide from humans. These mice ain't trying to hear that. They were out, and they were out in force, Sims added. I tried to ask about it, what's going on, and it was pretty much shut up and take it. That's what Jake got to deal with. Being under their oppressor. Okay. Now, I know, of course, Jake be wicked a lot of the time and they be getting themselves in these situations. But it's still, unjust. The different living conditions and stuff. This is the book of Ecclesiastes, chapter 7 and 7. Surely oppression maketh a wise man mad, and a gift destroyed the heart. Bring this out too, because imagine you had to be oppressed into one of these jail cells, especially being wrongfully accused or convicted for a crime. Oppression goes back to extortion, gained by extortion. The practice of obtaining something, especially money, through force or threats. And hey, a lot of times, Jake, they go into these prison systems only to make Esau eat them money. Okay? And that's definitely vanity. A gift is a bribe. It destroyed the heart. And a lot of Jake in the Philadelphia prison system have been experimented on. You have Holmesburg Prison got the different experiments, and them offering money to the different inmates, it destroyed their mind. I mean, to the point where, they allowed them to put dangerous substances on them topically, all right, and other things. Sims believe people would be surprised to hear about the conditions behind bars. I think that the inhumane part would be surprising because even though they are in jail for crimes they committed or didn't commit, they want people to be treated humanely. Some people just don't give a F. I think that the majority of people with political power were the brothers and sisters of people who were serving tame. Our prisons would look very different. This is Claire Schubert Richards said this, the executive director of the Pennsylvania Prison Society. All right. So, going down, Schubert Richards told EcoWord that there are worsening environment and physical conditions across the 6 Philadelphia County prisons and 4 prisons in the 5 County Philadelphia suburb and 24 state prisons across the Commonwealth. More than 40% of inmates are from southeastern Pennsylvania. The reason why the crumbling facilities exist is because of the lack of willingness to invest. For example, Fayette County, they want to build a new prisons. They simply don't have the money to. Said Fayette Country Prison, a 19th century facility facing a lawsuit for unconstitutional living conditions, environmental problems, overcrowding, and despair. They talk about how within this prison system, misfood are being served for what's called loaves. Many times it's different kinds of food, meat, peas, and rice mashed into loaves. That leads to all sort of health issues. Inmates age faster. So they're destroying the inmates do the food too, which, the scripture said, like, I mean, somebody just piecing together something just to eat, like that's crazy. Um, Ezekiel chapter 13, or 4 and 13. And it says, I can start at 12. It says, "And thou shalt eat it as barley cakes, and thou shalt bake it with dung that cometh out of man in their sight." Now this is going into a prophecy, which today is like our food got shite in it. Okay. And thou said, and Yahweh said, pardon me, even thus said shall the children of Israel, which is so-called Negroes, Latinos, and the Americans or Israelites, eat and you have the Israelite forms like the suspect word that look like the heathen nations. It says, eat their defiled bread among the Gentiles, whether I will dry them. Yeah, a lot of that defiled or to my call or lacham to ma, which is bread defiled. Bagawayam, the nations, Ashar, which are wither. And you have the Yacham, them I will drive. Shum. Yeah, and like I said, Jake be in these prisons in the United States, and they have to eat even worse food than the typical shite that we even eat. It said it make them age faster. Out of sight, out of mind. Often out of sight, out of mind, incarcerated people are routinely face environmental challenges, forced to live in capacity. Prisoners find themselves exposed to some of the most dangerous, toxic, inhumane environmental conditions in the country, from violation of the 8th Amendment prohibiting cruel and unusual punishment. And that's Esau. Esau don't care. He break his own law. But human rights standard, or international human standard, these conditions are prevalent in the United States, in such places as Philadelphia, as they would in any else in the world. And they compromise the health and well-being of not only the citizens behind bars for a long period of time, but those who are awaiting trial and sentencing. Okay. Let's say it goes into some other information. How a lot of these prisons are built on hazardous sites. Bad enough that prisons themselves are toxic places, but even worse, they are built on land that already damaged are considered dangerous. It's a pattern similar to poor black communities are disproportionately exposed to poisonous health and this is like, it's not black, but it says disproportionately exposed to poisonous health compromising substances in the air, water, land, and their health compromised in the process. And it's like crazy because like around them Riverview, different prisons that's on State Road, Pick, yeah, I damn near lost my train of thought. Let me get it back real quick. But yeah, it's the water stinks around there. Just whatever water. They got like some water. It smells like sewage. And that's from the outside. It says Fayette is one of the one that stands out in my mind. Somehow they thought it was a good idea to build next to a coal ash waste facility. Michael Bailey of Philip or PILP said the state prison SCI Fayette, which opened in 2003 in southwestern Pennsylvania, and those inmates manufactured a state license plate, so that they were splitting Jake free labor. If they pay him, it's like little, very minute. Even the guards don't drink the water at Fayette. He added, reflecting accounts of brown tinted and smelly water, as pointing to the water issues in the prison of a coal township, Mahoney and Frackville. I think they tend to build facilities in communities that used to be coal towns. Their fathers used to be coal miners, he added, noting concerns of the chemicals used to extinguish fires have leached into the water. They move these guys around. Often, when they begin to present symptoms related to coal ash, Bailey noted it would take a lot of effort to keep track of all these guys. So, just naming some of the, the toxic stuff. The coal ash, it says, contains hazard elements like arsenic, cadmium, chromium, lead, mercury, selenium. The state knew that this, and yet they built the prison anyway. So that goes to show you how this man is violent and cruel. Alright, so let's see, I could probably find something in Jewel possibly, but I might just fast track this lesson. This is going to be the book of John, Isaiah chapter 42 and 22. But this is a people, being Israelites, robbed and spoiled. And they are, all of them, snared in holes. And they are hid in the prison houses. For it says, they are for a prey, and none delivered them, for a spoil, and none said, restore. Look at the prison house. You got Kala or Kala'a, which is confinement, imprisonment. And Jake are in these different conditions, in these prisons. Hid, snared in holes, Hawar. They got parts of the prison called literally the hole, solitary confinement. Alright, but if you get this truth, even if, there's time in the Lord been in prison situations and stuff, but the Lord delivered them. So it's good to know, obviously, of these different things. This is John chapter 8 and 32, and ye shall know the truth, and the truth shall make you free. Alright, so it's good you get this truth. Shalom to that, all praise to Yahweh Shema Shai Shem Kagadash.